What I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state. Then Canada should be a 51st state. It would be 100% certain that they'd become a state.
As you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace, that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
The Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, has his fair share of criticism, but when it comes to dealing with Donald Trump's sovereign threats and trade bullying, his resume and background holds up. But the United States is 10 times larger than Canada in population and 20 times the military size. In this David versus Goliath fight, Carney cannot confront Trump head-on. Carney, as the only individual to have ever led two G7 central banks, the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, he understands that a central banker's true power lies in shifting market expectations rather than physical force. He leveraged financial markets to counter Donald Trump's trade agenda, a move that gained significant traction in January 2026. By essentially removing tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, with a minimum quota, he signaled that Canada would no longer align itself with the US trade policy. At the Davos summit, Carney's standing ovation speech pointed out the uncomfortable reality that many had been avoiding, that the smaller nations are getting screwed over by the world superpowers. For years, smaller nations found it advantageous to tolerate the status quo and to look the other way even when the superpower nations were acting out of line. Because Trump's egotistical traits only allow him to play the zero-sum game where he must win and you must lose, Carney is starting talks and building a super pact of 40 middle power nations with the European Union and the Indo-Pacific of mutually beneficial trade. 40 nations, that's more than 1/5 of the world, figuring out a strategic economic maneuver to insulate themselves from the US trade volatility. Carney started trade talks with China for electric vehicles, China and India for agriculture, Japan and other Southeastern Asian nations for oil and liquid natural gas, India and Australia for tech and AI, and Europe for manufacturing. He is taking steps to reduce reliance on the US and expanding Canada's trade options. He's showing the world the middle power nations don't have to be on the menu of the world superpowers. Canada has a superpower of its own, but it's often overlooked. It is consistently ranked near the top, if not number one, as the most reputable country in the world. It's overlooked because people think this ranking is just fluff. Let's be honest, in a world that's feeling increasingly unstable, Canada has a massive competitive edge. It's not just about what they have, it's who they are as a partner. Because Canada is widely seen as fair, predictable, and reliable, other countries actually want to do business there. That kind of reputation is gold when you're looking to sign long-term deals that keep global economies running. Canada is essentially a powerhouse for everything the modern world needs. We're talking about the 4th largest oil exporter, and the world leader in canola, softwood lumber, and potash, which is the backbone of global food supply. Toss in their massive exports for seafood, meats, and critical minerals needed for green energy transition, and it's clear. Canada has the goods everyone needs. If Canada plays its cards right and leans into the deserved reputation, the future looks incredibly bright. They have the resources, and more importantly, they have the world's trust. Carney highlighted the decline of traditional rules-based order and invited other middle powers to coordinate. This stance pissed Trump off, and he attacked Carney publicly for it. This all happened when Trump was threatening to take Greenland. The markets tanked, and Trump backed off. In the moment, it revealed to the world that Trump fears market instability, and that is exploitable. By highlighting this weakness, Carney provided a blueprint for others to follow. In this David versus Goliath, he couldn't launch a direct assault on the US. He simply revealed the pressure point, allowing global markets and other nations to exploit a defense for which Trump has no answer. By refusing to succumb to intimidation, Canada has established a moral and strategic benchmark for the world. Carney showed everyone how to stand up to Donald Trump and is rebuilding a new system, a new world order.